Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel as we are now taking a look at the energies of a Pisces Descendant. And I've been going through all 12 astrology signs on the Descendant. And the Descendant is, of course, the opposite of the Rising or Ascendant, which was the astrological sign rising at the time of your birth based on location and time on the planet. And with a Virgo rising, you then would have the opposite sign of Pisces on the Descendant. And this is the energy of others, what you seek to experience and know about yourself through other people. Of course, the whole chart is yours. This is all your energy, but this just provides more understanding of what you could be unconsciously pulling in or attracted to, what you appreciate in others, as a reflection of those same qualities in yourself. And it could be that more of these Pisces energies come alive from within you with certain people. So Pisces is the energy of empathy, sensitivity, compassion. It's where we seek to escape the everyday. Pisces being the opposite of Virgo. Virgo, very much about form and order, what's proper, what works, what is responsible, what people can rely on you for. Well, the opposite of Virgo is Pisces, and it can bring up things that you wish to even take a break from some of your responsibilities. You want to have other types of experiences with people that tap you into your emotions, your intuition, your spiritual self. The energy of Pisces here on the Descendant is one that can also see the best in others to a default. This would be those rose-tinted lenses. This would be idealizing a partner, thinking that they're everything when in fact no one is everything. And so with the Pisces Descendant, you really have to stay grounded, which that Virgo energy helps, grounded in the realities of everyone's humanness. Because you could see people as angelic, you could see them as they were sent to save me, they were sent to support me, they're in my life to be there. They can be your soft place to land, of course, depending on what else is in your chart. The Pisces energy really seeks a deeper connection between our human experiences and the spiritual realms. And so you do want to be careful of pulling in people that you don't see clearly, but that have other things in their energy that could show up as, I'm going to say, lessons as well as healing for you. This could be where you actually are attracted to people that you try to save. This could be realizing that maybe you try to help a lot of people and you want to show up for them, you want to take care of them. But if they are an addict, if they are an alcoholic, if they have bigger issues, this is where you could pull them in to support them, to want to be there for them. But then you could realize you're only sacrificing yourself. You keep sacrificing your energy in certain relationships and connections because of that Pisces desire to be of service to something bigger than you. And that is a big, strong theme with both the Pisces and the Virgo energies here on the Descendant Ascendant axis, because this is the relational energies. And so you could have people who show up because they see your sensibilities, what you're able to handle, your responsibilities, how you're able to manage things. And then in connections, you could realize that you do a lot. Are you doing too much to save the relationship, to be in a connection? Because again, the Pisces energy has so much empathy. I'll just keep giving more. I'll just keep helping them more. I'll just hold their hand. Or this could be even, you see that other people are fallible. Other people do have their faults, their lessons, their things that they're working out. And maybe you're able to detach better than when you were younger, for example. So of course, there's so many ways these themes can play out, and it will depend on your chart. Now, this is probably not your chart. This chart is, let's see, February 1973. And what we're looking at with your Pisces descendant after going into these themes of the Pisces energies is that, again, there could be a quality that you're really seeking a deeper energetic connection with someone. Maybe relationships are where you open up with more of your inner world, your intuition. Perhaps it's psychic abilities, clairvoyance, clairsentience. Perhaps your spiritual growth is something you want to share with others. And I believe that is actually one of the primary higher spectrum understandings of Pisces on the descendant. You want to merge and share energetically with others on your spiritual path. It's seeking a spiritual partnership, spiritual connections that support you, support them based on your own willingness and your own desire to not only give to them, but to receive. And the Pisces energy has to check in on that. Are you receiving from a partner, or do they just disappear? Pisces energy, people escape. They just go to an escape room and never get out. No, there is the escapism here. There is the disappearing partners. There is the energy of not really knowing who they are, if they're a mystery. And so what you want to stay mindful of and evaluate for yourself with a Pisces descendant is that this is the energy of both the human and spiritual realms coming together. And relationships could be part of your big spiritual lessons in order to really accept what is and to be aware of the power you have of people who show up. People who show up who could seem like they were sent from spirit, from your angels. They show up through divine timing. The Pisces energies being so mysterious and even confusing at times, you'd be like, oh, they just appeared like a mirage in the desert. They just came out of nowhere through the fog machine of the nightclub. It's like these are the people who just arrive in your life, but you need a very clear process to vet them. They need to go through a vetting process in order for you to truly decide or accept their energy into your energy. This is where you can be taken advantage of because of your soft heart. This is where you could be just so wrapped up in the fog machine of illusions that you're like unaware of who somebody really is. So this is why you need a process. You need to see who they are in their life, how they handle their responsibilities, their finances. Are they grounded? Are they rooted? Do they have a job? Do they have a real address? It's kind of like the Pisces energy can overlook all that. Be like, oh, well, they look good in a bikini, or they look good with their shirt off. I'm fine. Well, no, the Pisces energy, you have to be very aware of what you are energetically connecting to in them. What are your needs here in relationships and connections that you really need, again, to be grounded in? And it's like almost like making a list, checking it twice, and then putting that list up against partnerships so that you're really understanding what you're pulling in and why, because this can be quite karmic. These can be the soulmates who keep showing up from past lifetimes, from other dimensions. And you have unfinished energy with them. And the job is to close it out. The job is to end it or to complete a cycle or a pattern for yourself. Otherwise, it will just keep persisting. It'll keep showing up. And so that could be something that you're aware of or that you look at in your life. Like, what was the common thread? What were the soul contracts? What was the karma that I'm completing with these individuals? And sometimes we don't know the full story, and that's okay to not know the full story or everything that maybe transpired between you and another in previous connections. But the Pisces energy, it needs to be attached to reality in some form. So in your chart, Any planets or points in earth signs will support you. Now, granted, with the Virgo rising, you do have that need to make a list. You do have that need for a process to organize, compartmentalize. But there's parts of you that could lose that in relationships. In fact, you have to be mindful of not losing yourself and not losing your sense of what you need, what you're about, because the giving, this is the over giving, the overflow. Let me drown you in my love and then you'll be enough, or I'll be enough for you. So you want to get to the root here of your spiritual lessons, your spiritual growth, and your spiritual needs with other people. So then we do that by going into the ruling planet of Pisces, which is Neptune. And in this chart, it's Neptune in Sagittarius. As I said, this is from 1973, and Neptune was in Sagittarius for most of the 1970s. So again, you would look at, you might have Neptune in Scorpio. You might have Neptune in Capricorn, in Aquarius, wherever. So your Neptune signifies your spiritual lessons in this lifetime. And this Neptune actually squares the Descendant. See how it's at 7 degrees, squaring 3 degrees, and being in the 4th house. So there's a lot here that this individual would need to be mindful of in terms especially of their emotional needs, what they're seeking another person to fulfill. That really is about going to God, going to spirit, going to the universe. Neptune is always about going higher, your higher self. What is your relationship with your higher self? That's going to give you the blueprint for these relationships. What are you seeking from your God self, from the universe? That maybe you're feeling like there's some Swiss cheese holes here and I want someone else to do it. Nope. You come back to filling up your own cup, taking responsibility for your spiritual lessons, which, by the way, will lead you to more of your power, your light, your choices, your ability to be whole and complete as your own full entity. It has nothing to do with another person. And so with Pisces, the deception, the liars, if you had chapters in your life or in your relationship experiences where you're like, I keep pulling in these people who lie to me or who aren't honest, who try to play me. Okay, you got to watch your victim consciousness here. You got to watch that, because that's you talking to God. That's you talking to your soul. You got to look at that. Where did that originate? In this chart with this Neptune at 7 degrees of Sag in the 4th house opposing Saturn. Sorry, I know you can't see it. Opposing Saturn up there in Gemini. This is a family dynamic. This is something with the mother, the father growing up in a household, something in early formative years where it wasn't okay to speak my truth. I had to make up things. I had to, make up a story about where my homework was. I had to lie. I had to lie to be loved. I had to deceive myself for a relationship. I had to be aware of what I was doing or what I was saying because I could feel other people's energy so intensely. Neptune is a huge feeler of receptive energies. And there's something here that maybe you learned, wherever Neptune is in your chart, by the way, whatever sign, whatever house this Neptune is in, is what you came in with spiritually to master and move through. But chances are, in your younger years, when you were, let's call it unawakened or not connected to the spiritual realms like you are now, there could have been things that you look back and you're like, I never would do that anymore. My spiritual path has taken me higher. I've learned. I understand now my own truth, my own intuition. Neptune will direct you back to your own intuition, and it can feel quite lonely. And that's something too with a Pisces Descendant, is the loneliness at times, the feeling that you're in the middle of the desert and there's no one. You're like, it's just me, but it's just you with spirit. And you're working something out with spirit in this lifetime to trust yourself more, to love yourself more, to accept yourself more. And other people could be the vehicle. They're just the examples or divine vessels of what that is. When you reach a certain level of mastery with your natal Neptune, everything shifts in your relationships. And actually, this is something that I haven't said for any other of these 12 astrology signs, because the Pisces Descendant can have a hard road with connections. You can have multiple relationships, multiple marriages, multiple people who show up and you're like, I am just on replay with these lessons, right? And it feels not fair. It sinks you into the victim consciousness. It actually is a redirect back to your God self. It's a redirect back to the universe and your intuition. What did you not see early in the relationship because your Neptune or your Pisces overlooked it, didn't want to deal with it? What were the red flags, orange flags? What were you sensing with your intuition that you diminished? Because Spirit is saying, no, do not diminish what you're feeling, what you're sensing. Do not diminish your intuition. Do not diminish the dream messages coming through. And this is true if you have strong Pisces in your chart. But for this Neptune, the ruler of your Pisces Descendant, it's really about how you're learning to create spiritual connections that work in the real world and that accept all of who somebody is, because you are accepting all of who you are. And again, it's a big area of spiritual growth for you and turnover. People come in, they come out. Again, you feel like you're sitting in the desert, feast or famine energy is part of the Pisces duality. And it's all about your own connection with the divine. And once you elevate up to a place of really honoring and working with your intuition, a whole new frequency of people show up. A whole new level of connections. And you start to then bring in and call in those who are more of an energetic match, where you don't have to hide your spirituality. You don't hide your gifts. You don't hide your strengths. In fact, that could be why people are then drawn to you, because they want to learn more about you, your spiritual path, what you tune into, what you see, the energy you read. It is a very intuitive energy that is uncommon. And then the divine shows up for you by bringing in those new people, those new partners who are a match, especially on your spiritual growth trajectory. Now, one other thing I want to say about the Pisces Descendant is that Pisces being a sign of duality. It's the duality between the human and the spiritual realms, and how it's this continual up and down. You go up to spirit, you come back down to your feet. You go up into the non-earthly realms, you come down and eat your mac and cheese. So you're constantly doing that infinity symbol of energies, and you're meant to be in connections that allow you that. This can also be you need time alone. This can also be you need people who honor your privacy and where you need to go to take care of your energy. This is also where you go to listen. So it's a very spiritual and energetically focused part of your chart. And it's really your natal Neptune that is directing you into what you are ultimately healing with God, what you are healing with the universe, what you are working through to level up in your intuition and your spiritual journey. Now, Pisces is also very creative, imaginative. You can feel like you live in the fantasy realms, and you want to walk around in your Disney princess dress. So there's an energy here of also wanting a playfulness, wanting something that sets you free, wanting something that just feels like it's good for your energy. And so you want to have a process, again, to understand and evaluate people realistically. And then once they pass that test, or once they meet all that criteria, it's almost like you want to create other experiences with them that lift you up, that bring you joy, that help you connect to the best in life, the good in life. And that also, I feel like it sets you free. You know, there's a freedom, there's a letting loose here with the Pisces energies as well. And so your natal Neptune is going to show you more about what you are ultimately healing spiritually in this lifetime, where you have karma to close out because you're learning to trust yourself more, learning to trust the vibes you pick up with other people. And then you'd also want to look at if you have any aspects to this Neptune, as that will give you more insights into what those energies might be for you. Oh, by the way, there is good news with your Neptune, because Neptune has been in a sextile with this Pluto for over a century. So wherever your Neptune is, it is being supported by Pluto, which is your powerful soul evolution. And Pluto's got your back with, you know, what you need to complete and end. Because this could be hard to let go. You're also learning those let go and letting go of connections that aren't good for you. They drain you. They're too much. They're not good for your heart. So you're learning boundaries. You're learning boundaries in a very big way. Boundaries that honor you, honor your energy, honor what you need. And even some soul lessons around how to maintain your power, how to not give it away, how to not sacrifice yourself for other people. Don't let everyone just eat your mac and cheese. That's your mac and cheese. So you really got to evaluate your boundaries, even in the smallest ways. And if you're saying that you don't have a problem with that, I would say go back and check again. If you've worked through it, awesome, gold stars, that's great. But you have to maintain those boundaries. You've got to maintain the fence. Because people will show up to test your boundaries, or to test your power. And that's really what this is. It's your spiritual power that you're learning in relationships and connections. Of course, I'm speaking in general terms here. So this is where you really, you know, it'll be different for your chart, obviously. But what I love is that this Neptune is supported by Pluto. So there's something you're meant to evolve in this lifetime that could be the first time in your soul's journey, or at least lately, that you're stepping into something that could at first feel really uncomfortable. And then that's the next level. That's the next level. So I hope this has helped you. I hope it has given you some energies and insights that resonate, that validate you, that also support you in your spiritual mastery and your power in this lifetime. Also making sure that, you know, you're being very honest with yourself, because that's another thing with the Pisces is you could be lying to yourself, and then someone has to sit you down and give it to you straight about a partner, right? Like, oh, I think, you know, she's not being honest with you. Oh, I think he's playing you. Oh, I think this, right? Like there could be something that you have to hear from someone else, depending on where you're at with the Pisces energy, and if you have other planets in Pisces as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Please check out this whole series if you want to learn more about your descendant, because I do cover different tips and insights in each video. And I appreciate your time. Feel free to share this with others who might enjoy this descendant series as well. And I'll be back with another video here on YouTube soon.